no further ado, here she is, the one and only Miss Juliet Henry.
That's right. Don't you love it? Oh boy. Hey everyone. Welcome. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to everyone across the globe. Now, I have to let you guys know, man, I'm pumped. I'm excited. We have a special guest on today, y'all. Mr. ReMeDie himself. Okay, been posting all week, and just coming into today, I've just been so grateful to have such an amazing artist come on the program and join us, and we get to ask questions, and we get to hear his beautiful music and just dive on in, you know what I mean? And he's gonna be on today at 6:30. I have a lot of people asking me, okay, Juliet, all right, so when exactly is he gonna be on? And 6:30, all right? And I'm just excited. And even me looking at the clock, because I kept looking, I'm like, man, I just kept looking like, okay, the time is coming down. So it's a lot of excitement on our end. I know it's a lot of excitement on ReMeDie's end, and I can't wait to hear his testimony. I can't wait to share. I know the testimony, but I want to hear it fresh. You see what I'm saying? And I can't wait for you guys to hear his testimony and what an inspiration this young man is. I was at his album release, and it was off the chain passion. Listen, it was awesome. So make sure you guys stay plugged on in. And I am so grateful to introduce our brother today, ReMeDie. Are you there, brother?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am here. How are you?
I am fine. But let me be, the first from the Visionary Talk Radio family to welcome you and thank you for your time, brother, and for your talent.
Praise God, man. Thank y'all for having me. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
I would love for you, before I even start, to just quickly send some love to all of our listeners all across the globe.
Yo, listen, man. This is ReMeDie. I just want to say thank y'all for coming on, man. Visionary Talk Radio. Thank you for all of the listeners across the country, across the globe. Man, this is just an honor, a privilege. I know we'll get into it. I don't want to go too deep, but this is a very special day for me. So, and just in general, it's an emotional day for me, man. So I thank y'all for sharing this with me. Bless y'all, man, everybody.
Well, you got to go into that because I didn't know this story before. Man, I seen this brother, y'all, performing on stage, doing his thing, and you would never know he went through so much. And just to see where the Lord brought you, man, you got to go into that.
Oh, man.
You got to go into that.
So the reason I said it's a special day, it's an emotional day, everybody, is because literally on this day, October 26, 2013, I was playing softball, regular game of softball. I love softball. Shout out to all the softball people.
Yeah.
But I love the game, man. I love the game. But right. I was playing, man. I was running home, trying to score. A guy tried to throw me out at home plate, and as I was crossing over the plate, the ball, the catcher missed it, and the ball hit me in the temple. And I just completely blacked out. I went unconscious, and I fell on my face. I shattered my jaw in 3 places, left side, right side, 2 places in my chin. I had a tooth knocked out. So literally, what time is it? It is 6:35. So literally, this time, 4 years ago, I was in the emergency room, I think just getting out of surgery.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I said, this day has been, it's been a day, man, to where, just really looking back, man, over the last 4 years and what God has done in my life. And, in all honesty, even back then, just doing whatever, big and bad enough to do, and then that happened, man, and seeing where what God has done over the last 4 years is nothing short of incredible, man.
Wow. Listen, take us through that. So would you say this is at that time coming out and realizing what took place? Would you say you were reborn at that time in the Lord? Born into the Lord? Did you just learn about the Lord?
No.
What was that transition that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna change my life?
I mean, in all honesty, during that season, I grew up like in my bio. I grew up in the church, man. So I've always known God was real, and I always knew, that what He was capable of and everything. But of course, you can know about God, but not have a relationship with Him.
Right.
So I knew about God, and I went to church. And I mean, it's been plenty of times. In all honesty, it's been plenty of times I left the club.
Right.
Changed the clothes and went straight to church, so I always knew, but after my accident took place, like I said, I went unconscious, I fell, and then when I came back to, all I knew was I was on the ground and everybody was looking at me. The scariest thing that I could remember about that day is trying to move, but can't.
Wow.
I lost feeling in my whole entire body. The only thing I could do was blink my eyes, and to be honest, man, I spent years like I wish I didn't even remember that part, but just that part to say, have my eyes open, but I couldn't move. People telling me to stay still, but I couldn't move anyway. And then obviously, getting into the EMS and, having to undergo 4 hours. I had to do a 4-hour reconstructive surgery. He literally had to rebuild my whole face. So going through that, man, I just want to say I thank God for all of my family. I have a lot of family listening right now who came up to the hospital. They said, man, my family came and overpacked the waiting room area. We literally had overflow of my family, so I thank God for that. And then, really, my mouth was wired shut. I spent almost a month eating nothing but tomato soup and sugar out of a straw. The first, I believe, 3 weeks to a month, I couldn't even shower because of the water pressure from the shower was too much for me to bear, too much pain for me to bear.
Wow.
And really, I had to sit down for 6 to 8 weeks, really just downstairs on the couch. And it got to a position to where, it was just me and God. And, the truth is that everybody, people try to make you feel better and, which is great, nothing wrong with that. But then they say stuff like, well, man, I know how you feel. And it's like, no, you don't.
Right.
You don't know how I feel. Because if you know exactly how I feel, show me a picture with your broken face. So I not only was I lonely, I felt lonely, and it got to a point where it was literally just me and God. Number one, I told God, I owe you my whole life. Literally, because we're talking about the temple.
Yeah.
So really, 1 inch to the left or 1 inch to the right, then you and I are not having this conversation. We're not having this interview. So spending that time with God and just letting Him know, number one, I owe you everything, and from here on out, I give you everything. And obviously, that was easier said than done as well, because I'm sitting there stationary. I can't do nothing anyway. I would say this. My accident happened in October, and then after, being able to go out and drive and stuff like that, after my accident is when conviction started.
That was my next question.
I'm not going to say I got saved. I'm not going to say I got saved, but it's when conviction started. It's when I started to actually, when I did something I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing is when I was like, that's when I started feeling bad. Because you can do everything, you can do whatever you want if you don't got no conviction.
Yes. Yes.
but you know, that's when, after my accident is when conviction started, because I started, you know, if I did anything outside of the will, my mind instantly went to, God spared my life for me to do this.
Wow.
You know, God spared my life for me to just act this kind of way, you know. But then, you know, really going into that new year of 2014 is when I, you know, decided I was going to give God everything, man. And February of 2014 is when I got baptized, and, you know, just started really building my relationship from there.
So your it moment, when you know, after the conviction, you know, the conscience start telling you, you know, you're wrong for that, right? You know you shouldn't do this. That moment, that moment with that realization of God is allowing me to be here, that I want to pinpoint that moment.
Right.
What was the thing that made you say, you know what, Father, forgive me, Father, I'm all the way in? Because we have a lot of youths that tune on in. And I've spoken to young folks that said, yes, you know, I feel that conviction, but that it thing, just so they wouldn't have to go through anything, you know, harsher than what they're going through now, and they just make a decision, you know what, I'm going to go this way. What was that thing that made you change?
Well, obviously, like I said, you know, the accident is when, you know, when you had the conviction and everything, it started. But I think it was coming into that realization of, I mean, you hear your whole life.
Right.
You hear your whole life that, you know, live every day like it's your last, and you hear stuff like, well, you don't know when God will call you home. But I believe that if we could grasp that, the actual concept, really grasp that concept, it would be different. Because with me, you know, for me to just say I never know when it's going to be my last, but then for me to say that before my accident was one thing, but for me to say that after my accident was completely different.
Right.
Because I understood that realization that it really is, I really don't know for real.
Wow. That's powerful.
And I think, and like I said, I think what happens is that statement of, well, you don't know when God gonna call you home, and live every day like it's your last. You know, you might not know what tomorrow holds. You know, I believe that coming up, we get immune to those statements. I believe that coming up, we've heard them so much that it just kind of is what it is.
Right.
But once again, when you have somebody who's actually had that moment, a near-death experience, that reality changes.
Right.
It changes because this is the way I've explained it before. Is that, like I said, you know, you and like I told you earlier, half an inch to the left or half an inch to the right, you know, we're not having this conversation.
Right. Wow.
But the reality is this: I was a half an inch away from going to hell, and I had no idea.
Jesus. That's real.
Because at that point, if the Lord would allow for me to go at that point, I would no way would I have been going to the kingdom. So literally, I was a half an inch to the left or a half an inch to the right from eternal damnation, and I had no idea.
Wow, that's a powerful statement right there, brother. And man, I can't thank you enough for saying that, because we have a lot of people across the world listening. And for them to understand that concept of, listen, the truth is you really don't know tomorrow. Live now in the Spirit of Christ. And I love that you said that.
I had a friend of mine back in I was in high school, and he was like an older brother or somebody who, you know, we all looked up to. And he was out here in the streets, and he was doing this thing. One Sunday he went down to the altar. He gave his life to Christ. Literally, that was on a Sunday. That Monday, somebody broke into his house and stabbed him in his sleep.
My God.
So literally, he was, and that's another thing I think about, that he was one day away from hell and didn't know. He got saved the day before he got killed.
Wow. Brother, that is some powerful stuff you're saying. I'm so excited that you're on. And I want to jam your song, My Testimony. And when we come back, I want you to talk about your move from doing, I want to say worldly music, coming into doing music for the Lord.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we're gonna do my testimony. I gotta shout out my baby.
Yeah.
Lena Rice, Lena J is on this song. When we was dating, I found out she could sing. I said, oh yeah, ain't no turning back now.
Oh man.
So I say, look, if I'm gonna do a song called My Testimony, my baby gotta be on there.
Amen. Brother, go ahead and introduce the song, man. We're about to jam this song right now.
Guys, this first track she gonna play, man, is ReMeDie featuring Lena J. It's My Testimony. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's you guys will get a chance to see where God truly brought me from.
All right, but that said, y'all, here we go. All right, and don't go anywhere. This interview is Nova. Check this out. Stay locked on, y'all.
This is my testimony, so I gotta tell it, and I gotta tell it.
Listen, Papa Squat, I'ma give you some truth, homie. I had a lot of associates, but nobody knew me, except for the ones I let come in my inner circle. Cause I switched them up all the time, like Stefan and Urkel. See, in the day I was a nice guy, but by nighttime I was the first one that was down the ride. In the VIP line, looking for the biggest bottle, the dopest sexes, and trying to bag the baddest model. I ain't gonna lie, I promise truth, it's the life I had. Ain't trying to brag, cause in fact it was kinda sad.
You are listening to VTR.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I have ReMeDie on the line. Are you there, brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, boy. Live and direct, y'all. I got a text during the break, and they're like, wow, who is that? I'm like, that is ReMeDie. I was like, the brother. I was like, listen, the brother, he come hard. He will smash you with the word, and he's the real deal. All right, so I was like, I said, look, just stay locked on it. All right, they was like, yeah, they sent me the thumbs up, y'all. All right. I want you to talk about your music, brother, because I was floored at your album release. I was floored. I pulled my phone out, my jaw was open. I think I was drooling, y'all, because it was so inspiring to me to watch you do your thing. And at that time, I really didn't know you. And just to see you just destroy the stage and so confident in the Lord, it encouraged me to move forward. So I want to know that point where you started doing your music, because y'all, he does gospel hip hop. Okay?
Wow.
Yes, imagine that. And that market needs to be bang into. And here we are, ReMeDie. Oh boy. So I want you to talk about that a little bit, brother.
Okay, well, so when it comes to music, man, I grew up around music. I have some of my big cousins, man, who, have been in the music game for a long time, who I'm proud of. I actually had two of my cousins actually just signed with Eminem. Two of the ones who actually put me on the mic back in the day.
Right.
And so I, grew up, man, seeing them do their thing, and eventually, I started to dabble, and I got into a couple of groups even back, early, I think like 2003, 2004, and I dabbled, did a little bit here and did a little bit there. And then 2003, 2004, yeah, then 2006, 2005 I went solo, and in 2006 I met my brother. I don't want to get to that story later, but my brother, well, he probably listening now. He actually on the EP. He's actually on the EP for Lost and Found. He's on there with Dunamis, and I met him. We met at the campus of West Georgia back in 2005, and it was crazy. Because I had a couple of solo songs, and he had some solo songs. And one day he asked about me, because like I said on my bio, I went by money. And he called me, he said, hey man, you money? I was like, yeah. He said, look, I have a song. He had a song he needed a verse on, and I had a song I needed a hook on. And he sang me crazy vocals, crazy with the hooks. And we ended up, he jumped on my song, I jumped on his song, and then we just took it from there. We had like a friendship, brotherhood, and we were doing it. We went by natural flow, traveling. We went to Alabama and all over Georgia, and we, just doing it. And but it wasn't the time. It wasn't the time, because we had some opportunities. Actually, back then we had opportunities on the table that we just didn't capitalize on. We were young, but at the same time, now that we know the Lord, now we know that it just wasn't time.
Yes.
But we had opportunities then that we didn't capitalize on, and he actually ended up moving. But we always stayed tight. And I'm actually, that's why I'm bringing him up, because we stayed tight. He was in my wedding, like that's my brother. We talked every single day. But he got saved well before I did. He got saved well before I did. So, and it was crazy because I was still out here doing whatever, and I'll wake up and he'd be sending me Bible verses.
Right.
I'm like, man, if you don't leave me alone with that stuff, man. I mean, I'll wake up, go to work 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I got Bible verses to my phone every day. And, so anyway, after my accident, ended up getting saved, saved for real, baptized, and started to really get to know the Lord. And so that same brother, that's why I wanted to bring him up, because we was doing music back then. That same brother, the Lord called him back to music, and he did 2 songs that I heard. I mean, that was just bananas. And at this point, I didn't even know people did gospel rap. I never knew that was a thing. But he sang as well as rap, so he let me hear it. And then one day, once he knew I got saved, he said, "Hey man, you ever thought about doing music again?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not." This is 10 years, 11 years later, right?
Right.
And I never thought about it. I'm getting into my word. All I want to do is love Jesus and let that be that. And he said, "Well, look, I got this beat. I can't do nothing with it. I think you'll smash it." And then he sent it to me. Even when I told him no, he still sent it to me.
Right. Man, big up to that brother.
Right. I told him no, and he still sent it to me. And then I sat down to get on it, and nothing came out. Miss Juliet, nothing came out.
Wow.
And so I put it away. I never thought about it again. And then I ended up going through my email after months of being in my word, and I ran across the beat. And I sat down, and God had me to write a song to myself called "Get Yourself Together," which didn't even make the EP. Had me write a song to myself, and I was done with the whole song in like 30 minutes.
Wow. And
then, it just went from there. And it was crazy because I had about a couple of songs done between the songs I had, and then me and him, we did songs together. And my wife was telling me, "You need to put your stuff out," and my little brother was, "You need to put your stuff out," and I just didn't. I was just writing just to get stuff off my chest and give something back to God. And
I want to jump in right here. What was that thing holding you back? Because he already put that seed in you as far as your gift to go out there and rhyme, right? From what I understand and what I've seen in the Lord, I mean, you're just on fire. So you have the gift. You were writing. What was that? Why didn't you just move on and just do?
You know what? I don't know, but if I'm guessing, my wife, she listening upstairs, I'm guessing she's nodding her head right now in approval with you. Because she was telling me for months I need to do. I mean, I just didn't. I mean, I think it was just the fact of, I was just writing. I didn't look at it as ministry.
Right.
I didn't think that some songs could touch and affect some people. I was just writing just to write. And, what I did is, of course, it was cool to get back doing music with my brother again. And, so it was more of, I looked at it more as a pastime that I did ministry. And it was crazy. I came home one night, and I don't know if everybody was doing that So Gone challenge.
Yes,
everybody doing that So Gone challenge. And I came home one night, and my wife was like, "Look, babe, everybody doing this So Gone challenge." And I was like, "That's nice, And then she was just like, you should do one." I'm just like, "Nah." So I was like, okay. I ended up doing one just because my wife asked me to do it. I did one verse over the So Gone beat, and it like blew up. It had like 3,000 hits in a week.
Wow. Oh.
Right. It was crazy. And then what happened is, from that video, I started getting invited out to people's churches and events. And I mean, I didn't even have anything recorded. I was just rapping over instrumentals.
Look at God. Wow.
Yeah, and that was it.
Wow. So this happened and you decided to start recording. What was that like? Because you had some years where you didn't do anything. And I want to also say this. You know, I love that your friend was sending you Bible verses, because if you don't know now, brother, he was planting seed in you.
Oh, yeah.
Amen. He was being used as an instrument, and I'm so big up to that, brother. You know, wherever you are, bro, thank you so much for doing that. So
that's my brother. He listened. I know he listening. Actually, he prayed for me before the interview. He just got off the phone.
Yes, planting that seed. So you got to the point now where you decided, okay, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna do this. What was your first step like? Was it difficult? What was that like?
Let me tell you. I started going to different churches, and I still wasn't recording. I was going to different churches and different events, and people started going, "Hey man, where can I get your music? Hey, where can I get your music?" And I had to look at them with the look of disappointment, like I don't have any.
Right. I'm sorry. Because I get it.
Right. Now, and it's so, because now while I'm looking at them, my wife looking at me.
Right.
And she like, you know. So,
oh, man.
Right. So, you know, so that happened. And then let me tell you this. I skipped this part. When you talk about the transition, God, I mean, I know it was a God move, because so my producer, who was me and my brother, our producer back in the day, 10, 11 years ago. He was our producer back then. And literally, I was probably about 2 months into writing music again, doing gospel. And I ran into my old producer at Walmart, up the street from my house.
Look at God.
And I'm like, "What are you doing out here?" He said, "I live out here." So literally, my old producer moved literally about 7 to 10 minutes away from me. And he was saved. So we got saved in different places, different locations, but we ended up meeting right after I started doing music again.
Oh my gosh.
As the Lord will work it out, that our producer from back then is the same guy that's doing music. Like the beat you just heard from my testimony, like Thus Says and Yeshua, all those are all him. So the same guy I was doing music with back then, the same guy we doing music with now. God literally turned it all the way around.
And that's that word, man, where it says that everything is for your good. I didn't understand that when I was young, but I understand it now. And when I look at your story, everything that you went through is for your good, because you have a testimony. You have a story to say to the youth, hey, listen, this is what took place. This happened to me. You can change. And I love that about you.
I believe that. I believe that with all my heart, man. If he did it for me, yeah, anybody, he can do it for anybody, man, and he will.
Wow. Well, check this out. We are about to rock another one of your songs. I want to play this one. You know, I want to rock He Got Me, you know. I want to rock that again. Yeah. Is that all right?
He got me. You didn't know you played my testimony the first time. He got me. That's another one featuring Atlanta Jet.
Oh, yes. Brother, I rocked that one.
Oh, yeah.
While I was talking about you, I'm like, man, because I heard you do this song also, and, man, I was just rocking at the church, and I'm like, this brother is on fire, and then your wife came out and started singing. I was like, look, y'all, I just threw myself on the floor. And I had my hand up filming it on my phone. All right? So, look, I'm about to jam this song. Y'all make sure and stay locked on. We have ReMeDie on the line, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Visionary Talk Radio.
You got me. For God so loved the world that he gave to you, he gave to me his life so we can be set free, clean from iniquity for eternity. But instead we rather turn and see what we can put in front of God with urgency. But we need to rise above it all. Emergency, that this world is in a state of emergency, and it be making me sick. Need some emergency. Robitussin, maybe Tylenol, and it be burning me up. I cannot lie to y'all. See, this is no joke, but it seems our only hope is Thursdays and Olivia Pope. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dog, the show is dope. But the point I'm making is, don't be fooled by the okie doke. He's saying to tie you out like the rope-a-dope. So I put my whole body in God like it's hokey poke. Got me.
He got me.
He got
That's
me.
right.
Man,
Listen,
I'm so
y'all.
thankful to the Lord
You're
that
tuning
he got
in
me.
to
Even though I
Visionary
was the one that tried
Talk
to stop
Radio.
me, he got me out my way and he saved me just
Come
like
on.
a floppy. Cause he got me.
He got me.
He got me.
He got
Man,
me.
get on my knees and thank him just because he got
Got
me.
me.
Even though I was the one that tried to stop me,
Sing it,
he got
brother.
me out my way and he saved me just like a floppy. He got me, exceeding abundant above all.
Lord, I love you. It's not because of what you do, but who you are. I love you for who you are, yeah. Lord, I love you. It's not because of what you do, but who